Hi, Alex. This is David. This is the first time I've read your. I read this briefly, but I thought I'd record my answers because it's quicker and easier to respond. This way, you get my full responses, and I'm also trying out this new software, so you have to suffer through that too. Um, thank you for everything. You did, in fact, find me. This is still my email address, I'm just going to go straight to the questions. One. Is crowdfunding a healthy and reliable strategy for journalism today? Is it too risky? The first thing I would say is it is an option. It always has been, and I think it always will be an option. Is it healthy and reliable? I think that depends on how you define healthy and reliable. I've always said this from even in 2008 on. It is not the savior of journalism. It is not going to fund all journalism. It is a way to fund journalism. It is part of a solution to our problems. I think that there is a certain level of funding there is a certain kind of journalism and funding that crowdfunding allows that you wouldn't get through traditional means, right? And I've always said this that crowdfunding is actually not new, right? People have been donating to journalism for a long, long time. NPR is perhaps the best known example of it. What Spot Us was doing wasn't new, except that it added a level of transparency and participation to where the money was going. That was it, right? Donating to money wasn't new. Adding level of transparency and participation about where the money goes and who is participating, that was new. And that's really the main thing that was different about Spot Us. And so is it risky? It's risky if you want to put your entire career on it, or if you want to put your entire organization's survival on it, then it is risky. Not impossible, right? There's one in is it the Netherlands? God, I always forget. There's a really interesting organization. I think it's in the Netherlands or Austria. I can't remember. That is. This also depends on how you define crowdfunding, right? They have subscribers, right, like members, but the members get involved, right? I don't know if the members get involved in directing where the money goes. De correspondent, that's what it is. Look up de correspondent, de correspondent. Correspondent might be in another language. Here, you're de correspondent. Let's see if we can find it. If my internet works, which it's not. But the point is that there is a way to kind of do it, perhaps, but it is risky to bet your entire organization's survival or your entire career's survival on it. Check out. Oh, it's Dutch. Check it out. I think you would be interested in seeing what they're doing. It's not quite crowdfunding, at least in my understanding, in that you don't determine where the money goes, but it is heavily reliant on community participation. So check it out. Let's go to your second question. Does society today give a lot of opportunity for projects like David's to survive? I think what you mean by David's is Spot Us, right? Was there a push from the start for bigger companies like APM to take control? I'd be interested in hearing what you think. So I'll send you a link to something about, I look at startups and journalism, they're as a kind of larger community thing. And what I would say is there is a lot of leeway, right? Like Spot Us and also other projects I've worked on, like Circa. The startup may have failed, but the ideas kind of lived on, and I think got eaten up. That sounds bad, but like were absorbed by the larger industry, right? I mean, when I was doing Spot Us, for example, I had to explain crowdfunding every single time. That really slowed you down, right? Today, and not even just because of Spot Us, mind you, right? There's Kickstarter, Indiegogo, right? There's a whole crowdfunding revolution, but today you don't have to explain crowdfunding. It's sort of become part of the larger companies now understand what it is and how it works and what it means. And so I think even if a startup doesn't necessarily survive as a company, if its ideals survive or at least get absorbed and become part of the ether, I think that's a kind of success. I was lucky in that when I did Spot Us in particular, it was really early on in the sort of like what you might call sort of innovation in journalism era, and so I was given a lot of leeway. It wouldn't have been possible without a grant from the Knight Foundation, and they were pretty hands off, right? They were sort of like, here's the money because we like your idea. Now go make it happen, and that was a lot of pressure, but also I think better than if they had dictated to me how to make it happen. The merger with American Public Media was you know, I had been doing Spot Us for like 3.5, maybe 4 years, I can't remember, and it had been successful in some respects, right? I still had enough money to run it for at least another year, but it also had reached a peak that like one person, myself at least, without raising more money, but we were a nonprofit, so it was, you know, it's hard to raise money when you're like a 25-year-old running a nonprofit. Uh, it was hard to, you know, one person I had taken it as far as I think I would have been able to have taken, and I thought merging with or having a larger organization take it like American Public Media would have been the best hope for it. In retrospect, you know, I'm not gonna like double think it, but I do think in the end, American Public Media had different priorities than making platforms. That became apparent sort of shortly after the merger. Spot Us very much was a platform. I only bring this up because I think you have some stuff here. Blah blah blah. Did you feel? Anyways, so I would say this. Let me see if Spot Us is. I don't think. Yeah. Do we have a Wikipedia? I think we did. Hey, oh, look at me. Anyways, this is funny. Do I have a Wikipedia page for me? No. Okay. Although, funny enough, now you're gonna have to suffer with me doing this. I think I've seen some of my old stories referenced in Wikipedia before. Whatever, we're not gonna do this right now. Yeah, hopefully all that makes sense and addresses your questions. If you have any others, let me know. I'm totally open to chat more. Yeah, be well.